what's up? It's Chiquita. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, welcome and hello. I am a relationship coach. I am a wife, a mom, entrepreneur, and if you don't know from the title of my channel, I am also a proud millennial. So, welcome. In today's topic, we will be talking about how to attract better men and how confident women actually attract better men. And so, I'm going to go right into the tips. For tip number one, my a better confident women really embody who they are, right? So my first tip is like being yourself. And what I mean is, of course, as we get older and we're growing, it takes time to really become who you are. And forever you will be transforming, forever you will be, altering yourself and changing and you'll be adjusting. I think it's normal. That's just how humans grow, right? So there will be things about yourself that you take on, things that you let go of that you normally do, but things that just ultimately build your confidence. And so in another video, I'll get into what does it mean to be a confident woman, especially on the dating scene and especially in relationships when you're not married yet. And of course, if you're married as well, right? Like what does that look like? Confidence in that essence. So of course, my number one tip is to be yourself. That means really diving deep into exploring and doing the work of who you are, right? What do you like? What do you know about yourself? How do you carry yourself? Are you going after the things that you love? Like, are there things in your life that really speaks to you that you're passionate about? Are you happy? So all of those things really contribute to you being confident. Also, just you knowing who you want to be with and who you like and what's for you. So again, be yourself. If you're silly, be silly. If you are more serious and you're more relaxed, or you're more, however you are, be yourself so that you can attract the person who's the best fit for you. Because oftentimes people want to alter themselves, especially when we think about social media, right? Like people want to alter who they are, how they show up, or they want to pull back some because of some of the things that are out there about, it's not safe to show up as this and you got to be very protective. A lot of people have their walls up, right? And so I will always say to be yourself, of course, with caution, but be yourself and who you are so that you can attract the person who's aligned with who you are, not the person you're pretending to be. So that is my first tip. My second tip is to really think about deal breakers, right? What are your deal breakers? What are some things that you naturally um don't want? Maybe some things that you've learned in a last relationship that didn't work for you. Maybe some things that you accepted that you shouldn't be accepting going forward, or maybe some things that you didn't even know that you didn't want to deal with, but you're diving deep and you're really taking that time to explore and to see what is it that I don't want. What is it that I don't want to accept from somebody? So I always, 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 this is my number one thing with all of my clients when I'm working with you on dating or support or relationships, or even just that personal development. When it comes to attracting a partner, or when it comes to honestly doing anything in our lives, we have to know what our deal breakers are. So it's especially true for going out and courting people. Oftentimes, I witness and I realize like people have qualities that they like about people. Oh, I want this person to look this way and be this way and drive this or have this amount of money. And they're so heavily focused on those superficial things that they often don't think about what type of things do I want to accept from this person or don't want to accept from this person. So it's really important to establish deal breakers. Okay. And so that can look like maybe I'm not gonna let anyone disrespect me, like maybe your deal breaker is not following up and being really communicative after a certain amount of time and chances, like, or maybe your deal breaker is like you don't want anybody who does not take accountability for who they are or for the things that they do. Like maybe they did miss a date, or maybe they didn't call you at a certain time, or maybe they didn't follow through on something, but maybe they also was like, well, it's you should have did it out, or maybe it was my work, and so it's really not on me. So maybe a deal breaker would be someone who does not take accountability. Think about those things so that you won't accept, so that in a moment when all the feelings are involved, right, you won't just be accepting anything because you would have already created before the feelings got involved what you weren't going to accept and what things were okay. So just do that beforehand. That really sets people up. And confident women always think about what their deal breakers are and make sure that the people that they're dating follows and does not break those deal breakers. Of course, there's going to be situations you talk about certain things, but they're compromised. But you can also establish that before you go into the relationship as well. But establish your deal breakers, because that confidently lets you know that when things come up and arise in that situation or in those events with those people, the people that you're dating or in a relationship with, that you don't have to second guess yourself. You already know what it is. You can have a conversation, some communication about, hey, I noticed that you did this, or I noticed this. And so I really want us to work through it and talk about it. And then if whatever your deal breaker is, if it's like accountability, if you notice, like even after a conversation and you bringing it up and all of that, that they still haven't apologized or they still haven't taken accountability, or maybe a week or so has passed and it's just like, oh, let's just move on to the next thing. And you know that that's not something that you want, and they're not willing to change or acknowledge that, that's a deal breaker. It's time to move on from this person. You're not compatible. Okay. Um, and before I go into the third thing, don't forget to like and subscribe to this video if you love it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel if you feel like this is helpful information. And if you just want more information and more tips and things that I'll be sharing, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Okay. So tip number three is really about just being this independent, having this independent, fulfilling life as a single person. The last thing anybody wants is anybody desperate, right? And so what you want to understand is that if you are feeling like unfulfilled in your person, like if you are not fulfilled by yourself, if you are, yeah, I got the house, I got the car, I got this, but yet and still, you're still unhappy and you're still very desperately out here searching for love and accepting anything just for the sake of FOMO, right? Fear of missing out, that your peers are getting married and having kids and you're not. And what if it never happens for me? If that's the mindset that you're in, again, confident women already know that I'm good by myself. I'm not hyper independent. I'm not so dependent to where I don't allow anyone else to love me or to help me or to be there for me, but I am good on my own, so that when someone comes in, they're not completing me, they're adding to my life, right? So I'm already complete without them. So when they come in, I'm good. And so everything that they have to offer is a beautiful benefit. And so again, and you appreciate it and you show gratitude, and there's nothing egotistical about that. It really is just you being able to accept that from people that love, but knowing that you are good and you were good beforehand. So what living a fulfilling life, and satisfying life looks like is following your passions, like pursuing your dreams, taking up hobbies and classes, and going to events and experiencing things, being out with your friends or exploring the world by yourself or whatever that looks like. All of those things are very attractive to men. They're attractive to women. They're attractive, period, right? They're very attractive qualities. Someone who's just very independent, who's goal driven, who's well rounded, who is passionate, who, marches to the beat of their own drum. Like a lot of that is very confident esque, right? For people. And so as a woman, a confident woman, again, attracting better men, you want to make sure that you are possessing and showing that you enjoy your life. And again, not to the point where you're putting a message out like, oh, I don't need no man, I'm good by myself, but to the point where it's like, I'm happy and I'm still open and welcoming to the person who's going to be in my life, but I'm happy. And so I am going to be waiting on them. What this does, for one, being yourself, helping deal breakers, and then also, embodying and really celebrating this independency, this singleness, and really still being fulfilled and feeling satisfied, right? What that really says to people and what it really does is tell people that it tells yourself and it tells other people that I don't just accept anything just for the fact of accepting it, right? Like you're gonna be filtering through. You're not gonna be so quick to just take a number or answer a call, or to say yes to going out with somebody just because you want to see what they're about, or just because you want a quick date, or just because you want to have a meal. Like you're not gonna do that. You're gonna be like, I'm good. I can get a meal. I can get a drink. I can get a this on my own. So really let me pay attention to people whom I really want to share spaces with, and not just because I want to, get something out of it because I might as well because I deserve it. Like that's not the attitude of a confident woman. Okay. So I want you guys to think about that. Those are my three tips. Really embodying who you are, really being confident, going after the things that you want, being passionate, exploring hobbies, taking care of yourself. All of that looks like pampering yourself and self care and exercising and eating healthy and eating better and Not only just looking good, but feeling good on the inside. So if that looks like therapy, if that looks like coaching, if that looks like consulting, if that looks like yoga and meditation, or, whatever it is that it looks like for you, really being that, attracting that so that you can attract who you are, right? Because in order to get who we want, we have to be that in ourselves. We have to embody and be the person that we're trying to attract. So if you're not doing that, I want you to think about it. What characteristics am I putting out? What sort of things and what energy am I putting out that will give me and make me attract the type of person whom will have these certain qualities that I don't want? Because we can't be two-sided, right? Like, you just can't. So think about that. Thank you guys for tuning in. Again, you can always follow me and catch up with me at jakitareed.com. You can see some of my services. I will be revamping my website, so there will be a whole different vibe to it coming soon. Again, don't forget to subscribe, like, leave a comment, and let me know which one of these tips are most beneficial to you. Like, which one of these 3 tips, can you take with you, or do you want plan to carry with you into helping you to attract better men, or, a better partner? And also, if there's something that you want to add, like another quality maybe that you think confident women do, or another characteristic that you think confident women possess in order to attract better men, what do you think? Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you guys on next time. Bye.